Hello, and welcome back to Neuralink. Before we begin, take a moment to settle into a comfortable place, perhaps a couch, or the soft quiet of your bed. And if you have a pair of headphones nearby, this might be a good moment to put them on, allowing the sound to wrap around you a little more fully. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it go. With each breath, let your mind soften. Let the day begin to fade, just a little more with every exhale. Good. In this session, we'll be exploring some timeless ideas, the kind that settle quietly into the mind, gently expanding awareness and deepening understanding, one thought at a time. As the narration comes to a close, you're welcome to keep resting in the binaural sounds that follow. They're woven gently beneath the words, helping the mind stay open and receptive, so the ideas we've shared tonight can continue settling deeper and deeper still. If this time together brings you something of value, it would mean a great deal if you'd like the video, and consider subscribing. It helps this little channel continue to grow and to keep these gentle moments coming back to you. Tonight we turn our attention to a book that has quietly shaped the way millions of people relate to one another. How to Win Friends and Influence People, written by Dale Carnegie. Carnegie was not a psychologist, nor a scholar in the traditional sense. He was simply someone who noticed something true. He noticed that success, real success, in business, in friendship, in everyday life, rarely comes from cleverness alone. It comes from how we make others feel. First published in 1936, his words have traveled across generations, quietly finding their way into boardrooms, classrooms, and living rooms, long before words like soft skills or emotional intelligence ever entered our vocabulary. What makes this book endure is its gentleness. There is no manipulation here, no trickery, only a deep, patient understanding of human nature and a simple invitation to listen more, to judge less, and to see the people around us a little more clearly. So tonight, let your mind rest and allow these ideas to drift in, gently, the way they were always meant to. Now, let's begin. Before any technique, before any principle, Carnegie wanted us to understand something simple, yet profound. Every person we meet, every single one, carries within them a quiet hunger to feel important, not in a boastful way, not in a way that demands attention, but in a deep, human way. We all want to feel seen. We all want to feel that our existence matters to someone. And so, the very first idea Carnegie offers us is this: if you wish to move through the world with ease, with warmth, with influence, then the path begins not with speaking, but with understanding, not with persuading, but with appreciating. Carnegie begins by gently warning us against one of the most natural human impulses, the impulse to criticize. When someone disappoints us or makes a mistake, our first instinct is often to point it out, to correct them, to let them know where they went wrong. And yet, Carnegie observes something quietly powerful. Criticism rarely changes a person. Instead, it wounds their pride. It stirs resentment, and it causes them to defend themselves rather than reflect. Think for a moment of someone you once criticized and how they responded. Did they soften or did they pull away? Carnegie reminds us that even history's most difficult figures believed themselves to be justified, even noble in their own minds. We are all, in some quiet way, the heroes of our own stories, So when we criticize, we are not simply correcting behavior, we are challenging someone's sense of self. And so, the invitation here is not to abandon honesty, but to set criticism aside and to replace it gently with understanding. If criticism closes a heart, then appreciation, sincere, honest appreciation, opens one. Carnegie draws a distinction here, one worth holding on to. There is flattery, which is hollow, and people often sense its emptiness. And then there is appreciation, which comes from truly noticing another person, their effort, their care, their quiet contributions that often go unspoken. He shares the story of workers, employees, family members, who labored for years doing good work, simply hoping someone might notice, and how a single moment of genuine recognition could change the course of their motivation, their loyalty, their happiness. So Carnegie asks us to pause and to look, really look, at the people in our lives. What are they doing well that has gone unspoken? What quiet effort might deserve a gentle word of thanks? This, he tells us, is one of the simplest and most overlooked doorways to connection. There is a particular kind of person, Carnegie observed, who moves through life with quiet influence, and it is not because they are forceful, but because they understand a simple truth. People are not moved by what we want, they are moved by what they want. If we wish to inspire someone, to guide them, to gently lead them toward an idea, we must first ask ourselves, what do they care about? What matters to them? Carnegie uses the example of fishing. A fisherman does not bait his hook with what he likes to eat. He baits it with what the fish desires. And so it is with people. If we wish to reach someone, we must speak gently to their own wishes, their own needs, their own sense of purpose. This is not manipulation. Carnegie is careful to remind us. It is empathy. It is the quiet discipline of stepping outside our own perspective and resting for a moment inside someone else's. Now we drift into the second part of the book, where Carnegie turns his attention to something delicate, something many of us overlook in the business of daily life. How do we become someone people are naturally drawn to? The answer, he tells us, is not what most expect. We are not drawn to people because they are interesting. We are drawn to people who are interested in us. Carnegie speaks gently of the difference between waiting for our turn to talk and truly listening, of asking questions not to be polite, but because we are curious, of remembering small details, a person's name, their child's birthday, the hobby they mentioned in passing, and how these small acts of attention can make someone feel quietly, deeply valued. Let yourself imagine, for a moment, the last time someone remembered something small about you, something you didn't expect them to hold on to. How did that feel? This, Carnegie tells us, is the quiet magic of genuine interest. It costs nothing, and yet it offers so much. Carnegie pauses here on something almost too simple to mention, a smile. He reminds us that a smile carries no words, and yet it says without effort, I am glad to see you. Being with you brings me ease. He speaks of how a smile, offered freely, without obligation, can soften the hardest of days, can open doors that words alone cannot. Not a performed smile, not one stretched across the face for show, but one that begins quietly on the inside and simply finds its way outward. There is a name Carnegie returns to often throughout the book, his own observation that a person's name is, to them, the sweetest sound in any language. Think of how it feels when someone remembers your name, long after you've met, how it tells you, without saying so directly, you mattered enough to remember. Carnegie encourages us to hold on to names, to use them gently in conversation, not excessively, but sincerely, for in doing so, we offer someone a small, quiet gift, the gift of being remembered. We arrive now at something Carnegie considered essential, perhaps one of the rarest gifts we can offer another person, the gift of true listening. Not listening in order to respond, not listening while planning our next sentence, but listening with our full, quiet attention, allowing someone to speak, to be heard, without interruption, without the need to redirect the conversation back to ourselves. Carnegie shares that some of the most fascinating conversationalists people remember were not those who spoke brilliantly, but those who listened deeply, who made others feel as though in that moment, nothing else mattered more. Let this idea rest with you for a moment, that sometimes the most powerful thing we can offer in a conversation is simply our presence. Carnegie continues this thread gently, reminding us that engaging conversation often begins not with what we wish to say, but with what the other person cares about. When we take the time to discover someone's interests, their passions, their work, and speak to those things with genuine curiosity, we create a kind of ease between us. People soften, they open, they feel that rare sense of being understood. And so we arrive at perhaps the quiet thread that ties this entire section together. Carnegie tells us, simply, make the other person feel important, and do so sincerely, not through grand gestures, but through small, consistent acts of respect, a thoughtful question, a patient ear, a genuine compliment offered honestly. These small moments, woven together, build something larger: trust, warmth, connection. Now Carnegie shifts gently into a more delicate space, the space of disagreement, of differing opinions, of the moments when we wish to gently guide someone toward our own perspective. And here, he offers something that may, at first, feel counterintuitive. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it altogether. Arguments, Carnegie observed, rarely change minds. Even when we win, we often lose something greater, the goodwill of the other person. They may concede the point, and yet quietly resent us for it. So instead, Carnegie invites us into a softer approach, to show respect for another's opinion, even when we disagree, to never directly say you are wrong. For those words, however true they may feel, tend to close a mind rather than open it. There is a quiet strength, Carnegie tells us, in admitting when we are wrong, quickly and wholeheartedly. When we own our mistakes before someone else has the chance to point them out, something shifts. The other person softens, their defenses lower. There is little to fight against when someone has already extended honesty and humility. Carnegie reminds us gently that the tone we begin with often shapes the tone that follows. If we approach a disagreement with hostility, we are likely to be met with hostility in return. But if we begin with warmth, with friendliness, we invite the same warmth back toward us. He speaks of the old proverb that a drop of honey gathers more bees than a gallon of vinegar, and how this simple truth applies again and again to our dealings with one another. One of Carnegie's most quietly powerful insights is this: people support more deeply the ideas they believe to be their own, rather than insisting, rather than pushing our perspective forcefully. Carnegie suggests planting a seed, asking questions, guiding gently, allowing the other person to arrive at the conclusion themselves. When someone feels ownership over an idea, their commitment to it deepens, not because they were told, but because they discovered it quietly on their own. Carnegie asks us throughout this section to practice something simple yet rare, to genuinely try to see a situation through someone else's eyes, to understand their fears, their motivations, their perspective before responding. When we approach disagreement this way, not as an opponent, but as someone curious to understand, conflict softens, connection deepens. In the final section of the book, Carnegie turns toward leadership and what it means to guide others, not through authority or force, but through care. He reminds us that if we must point out an error, it should begin with genuine praise, softening the moment before gently addressing what could be improved, that mistakes should be approached indirectly, allowing dignity to remain intact, that before we ask anything difficult of someone, we might first speak of our own imperfections, reminding them that we, too, are simply human. He speaks of encouragement, of making faults seem easy to correct, of using praise generously for even the smallest signs of progress. And above all, he reminds us gently that people rise to meet the reputation we extend to them. So if we wish to bring out the best in someone, we might first offer them, sincerely, the belief that the best is already within them. And so, we come to the quiet center of Carnegie's wisdom, that every person longs to feel valued, that listening is a gift few offer and many crave, that kindness moves people where force cannot, that respect, freely given, often returns to us tenfold. Let these ideas settle now, not as rules to memorize, but as a quiet undercurrent, something that may simply rise to the surface naturally the next time you find yourself sitting across from another person, listening, truly listening to who they are. And now, let your body settle a little more deeply into wherever you're resting. There's nothing to do now, nothing to figure out, only to listen softly as your mind begins to quietly absorb what matters most. With each breath, in and out, let yourself drift a little further from the thoughts of the day and a little closer to a calm, open space where ideas can settle gently, like leaves resting on still water. As you rest here, let's gently revisit the heart of what we've explored tonight. People do not long to be corrected, they long to be understood. So criticism softens, while appreciation, sincere, quiet appreciation, opens the door to connection. Let that truth settle. People move toward what they desire, not toward what we wish for them. So when we speak to someone's own hopes, their own needs, we walk beside them rather than ahead of them. Let that truth settle too. To be interested in others, more than wishing to be interesting ourselves, is one of the quietest, most powerful gifts we can offer. A question asked with real curiosity, a name remembered, a smile that begins on the inside. These small things carry more weight than we often realize. Let yourself remember that listening fully, without waiting for our turn to speak, is one of the rarest forms of respect we can offer another person. And that disagreement softens, not through force, but through warmth, through beginning gently, through allowing someone to keep their dignity, even when they are mistaken. People support the ideas they feel are their own, so guiding, gently, rather than insisting, tends to open more doors than it closes. And if ever you find yourself guiding others, leading others, remember that praise softens correction, that encouragement lifts more than criticism ever could, and that people often grow into the reputation, the belief we quietly extend to them. Let these ideas continue settling now, not as something to hold on to tightly, but as something that simply becomes part of you, quietly, naturally, the way water settles into the shape of the ground beneath it. And so gently, we come to the close of tonight's session. Everything you've heard, every idea, every quiet truth has already begun settling into place, finding its own quiet space within you, ready to surface naturally whenever it's needed. There's nothing to remember by force, nothing to hold on to tightly. These ideas have a way of returning on their own, in a conversation, in a quiet moment of patience, in the way you choose to listen to someone tomorrow. As the narration comes to an end now, continue resting here if you'd like, allowing the binaural sounds to carry on beneath you. They've been woven carefully into this experience to help your mind stay open, receptive, and to allow everything you've absorbed tonight to settle even more deeply into your awareness. There's no need to do anything more. Simply rest and let the sound hold this space for you for as long as you need. If this time together brought you something of value, it would mean a great deal if you'd like this video. And consider subscribing to the channel. It helps these quiet moments continue to find their way back to you and to others who might need this same sense of stillness. Thank you for resting here with me tonight. Sleep well, or simply rest well.